Welcome to Fun Facts Online. Today we are heading straight into the murky, biodiversity-rich waters of the Amazon basin to discuss a discovery that has captivated both the scientific community and fans of high fantasy. It is a story about a creature that was hiding in plain sight for nearly 2 centuries, a fish that bears the mark of a villain, possesses the teeth of a human, and carries the name of a legend. We are talking about the Myloplus Sauron, or as the headlines have dubbed it, the Sauron Piranha. When you hear the name Sauron, you likely think of the Dark Lord of Mordor from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. You picture the Great Eye, wreathed in flame, watching from the Dark Tower of Barad-dûr. It is an image of terror and absolute power. So when scientists peering into the Xingu River found a fish staring back at them with that exact same likeness, the name was inevitable. This new species has a round, silver discoid body, but on its flank, slashing vertically across its side, is a distinctive black bar. This bar tapers at the ends and is surrounded by vivid orange patches, creating an uncanny resemblance to a slit pupil, a vertical eye watching you from the water. It is a striking, almost ominous visual, but as we are about to discover, looks can be deceiving. Unlike the Dark Lord who wanted to rule Middle-earth, this creature has a much simpler ambition. It just wants a salad. To understand the significance of this fish, we have to look at how it was discovered. This wasn't a scenario where explorers hacked through untouched jungle to find a never-before-seen monster. The Myloplus Sauron has been swimming in the Amazon and likely in local fishing nets for a very long time. For nearly 200 years, it was a victim of mistaken identity. To the untrained eye, and even to many trained ones, it looked identical to another well-known species called Myloplus schomburgkii. Both of these fish share that signature round shape and the vertical black bar on their sides. In the world of Amazonian ichthyology, they were effectively considered the same fish. It wasn't until June of 2024 that the picture changed. A team of researchers from the Natural History Museum in London, collaborating with universities in Brazil, decided to take a much closer look at this specific population of fish. They utilized a technique known as DNA barcoding. For those unfamiliar with the term, think of it like scanning the barcode on a grocery item to identify exactly what it is. But instead of a UPC sticker, scientists analyzed specific genetic markers within the organism's DNA. When they ran these genetic scans on what they thought was Myloplus schomburgkii, they realized they weren't looking at one species. They were looking at 3 distinct genetic lineages. They had uncovered a cryptic species complex. Dr. Rupert Collins, the senior curator of fishes at the Natural History Museum, noted that as soon as his colleagues suggested the name Myloplus sauron, they knew it was perfect. The specific pattern of that black bar and the orange spotting looked too much like the Eye of Sauron to ignore. And so the fish was officially entered into the scientific record, joining a rather prestigious and geeky club of creatures named after Tolkien's characters, which includes a genus of butterflies called Saurona and a tree frog named Hylocertus tolkieni. But beyond the clever naming, the biology of this fish is where the story gets truly fascinating. The headline Sauron Piranha is admittedly clickbait of the highest order. It sends a shiver down the spine. It conjures images of a bloodthirsty, villainous predator swarming the riverbanks to strip prey to the bone. But this is where evolutionary history takes a sharp left turn. The Myloplus sauron is technically a pacu. Now, pacus and piranhas are close relatives. They both belong to the family Cirrisalmidae. This is a diverse group of fish that split into different dietary paths millions of years ago. If you look at the family tree, they are cousins, but their lifestyles could not be more different. Consider the classic piranha, like the red-bellied piranha. It is the wolf of the river. It evolved razor-sharp, interlocking triangular teeth. These teeth are biological scissors, designed specifically for shearing through flesh and tearing meat. That is the image we all know. But the Pacu, including our friend Myloplus Sauron, took a different evolutionary route. They are the cows of the river. If you were brave enough to pry open the mouth of a Sauron piranha, which I do not recommend, simply out of respect for the animal, you would not find jagged daggers. Instead, you would see rows of square, blunt teeth that look disturbingly like human molars. These human-like chompers are an evolutionary masterpiece in their own right. They aren't designed for tearing. They are designed for crushing. The Sauron piranha uses these powerful jaws to crack open seeds, nuts, and tough aquatic vegetation. While its cousin is hunting for blood, the Sauron piranha is looking for fruit. This diet makes them incredibly important to the Amazonian ecosystem. In fact, they play a role similar to birds or bats in a forest. They are seed dispersers. To understand how a fish plants a forest, we have to look at its habitat. The Myloplus Sauron is endemic to the Xingu River. Endemic means it is found there and nowhere else on Earth. The Xingu is a major tributary of the Amazon and is known as a biodiversity hotspot. It is a river of contrasts, featuring deep, slow-moving pools interspersed with violent, shallow, clear-water rapids. The life cycle of the Sauron piranha is perfectly attuned to the seasonal pulses of this river. When the rainy season arrives, the Xingu River rises. It swells and floods into the surrounding forests. This is the moment the Sauron piranha waits for. As the water level climbs up the tree trunks, the fish swim out of the main channel and into the submerged forest floor. They navigate among the trees, feasting on falling fruits and nuts that drop into the water. They consume the seeds, travel miles away, and then excrete the seeds intact. By doing this, they are effectively planting the forest of the future. Without these fish, many tree species would have no way to disperse their seeds effectively. They are the gardeners of the Amazon. However, this story has a darker chapter. In Tolkien's lore, the threat to the world came from the industrial machinery of Isengard and the dark magic of Mordor. For the Sauron piranha, the threat is strikingly similar, though it comes in the form of concrete and turbines. The industrialization of the river is the real antagonist in this story. The Xingu River is the site of the Belo Monte Dam, a massive hydroelectric complex. It is one of the largest dams in the world, and its construction has fundamentally altered the flow of the river. The dam has reduced the water volume in a section of the river known as the Volta Grande, or the Big Bend, by up to 80% in some sectors. For a species like Myloplus Sauron, this is an ecological catastrophe. Remember the flood pulse we just talked about? The mechanism that allows the fish to enter the forest to eat and disperse seeds? The dam has disrupted that cycle. The reduced water levels mean the river no longer floods the surrounding forest deeply enough, or for long enough periods. The fish cannot physically reach the fruit and seeds they rely on for food. This breaks the symbiotic loop between the fish and the trees. Furthermore, Amazonian fish rely on the chemical and physical signals of the flood pulse to know when to reproduce. It is their biological clock. The dam confuses these signals, leading to reproductive failure. The rapids where these fish thrive are being dried out or turned into stagnant pools. These stagnant pools favor different, often invasive species, pushing the native specialists like the Sauron piranha out of their home. The naming of Myloplus Sauron, therefore, is not just a fun pop culture reference by some nerdy scientists. It is a desperate call for attention. By invoking the name of a villain, scientists are highlighting a creature that is innocent, yet imperiled by the dark towers of human development. The parallels are hard to miss. We have a creature named after a dark lord, living in a river that is being strangled by industrialization. You might find yourself asking, why does this matter? Why should I care about a vegetarian fish in Brazil? The answer lies in the fragile web of life. Myloplus Sauron is a keystone species. If the seed eaters disappear, the trees that rely on them for dispersal eventually die out. If the trees die, the riverbanks erode. The water becomes silty and murky. The entire ecosystem degrades. This collapse affects everything, including the commercially important fish that local indigenous communities rely on for food survival. The discovery of Myloplus sauron proves that even in the 21st century, the Amazon still holds secrets. We are still finding large, distinct species in rivers we thought we knew inside and out. But this discovery also serves as a warning. We are altering these environments faster than we can catalog the life within them. We are destroying books before we have even read the first page. The Sauron piranha is a testament to the wonders of evolution. It is a fish that mimics the terrifying, yet lives peacefully. It bears a mark of evil on its side, yet does only good for its forest home. Next time you hear about the monsters of the Amazon, remember, Myloplus sauron. It is not coming for your blood. It is just looking for a nut to crack. And perhaps, with its unblinking, eye-like spot, it is watching us, waiting to see if we will protect its Middle-earth before it is too late. That is all for today's deep dive. Thank you for listening to G Fun Facts Online.